All right, everybody. I tried to stream live earlier. It didn't work, so we're going to try this again. All right, today is our topic is good debt versus bad debt. My name is Jordan Johnson. I am a licensed therapist, but I'm really interested and passionate about helping people manage their money better. One of the main things that I help people with is thinking about investing differently. And I released a different video last week called the cash flow versus net worth investing strategies. And in this case, I would like to continue talking about cash flow investing. So in my world, cash flow investing means that you're putting your money to work in order to receive money back each month. And so a big topic that I'm hearing people talk about is that they don't have any strategy for investing their money. And they're kind of worried about putting their money to work if they aren't really sure how the investment's going to do. And so in my opinion, we need to look at, is it going to bring money in each month? You know, that would be a good safety net to know if your money that you invest is going to bring money in every month. So in order to do that, a lot of times you need access to more cash. And so people start talking about debt, bad debt versus good debt. And today I just want to kind of highlight a couple things that I would identify as bad debt. Bad debt to me, and according to the world of accounting, would be anything that has a negative value. So if you have a situation where you owe more money than what you owned is worth, so let's say you buy a car for $25,000, you get a loan for $20,000, and 2 or 3 years later, you're still making the payments on that loan, but the value of the loan is at $18,000 and the value of the car is at $15,000. That would be a good example of having a negative value. And in that case, the debt would not be a good debt. Also, what if you went on a trip for $5,000, you put it all on the credit card, but you didn't have the money to pay off the credit card? Just going to pay it back each month for a while. Well, the trip will be done, the experience is over, you don't have anything to show for it, but you still have a $5,000 balance on your credit card. That would be a negative value. Okay. On the flip side, I see situations where debt can be good. Let's look at the housing market, for example. If you need a place to live and you want to buy a house, well, most Americans use a mortgage to buy their house, which means you have debt. Now, the debt that goes with a house is different because it is collateralized. So collateral basically just means that you have an asset that still has more value than the debt. The other thing we call it is secured. So on the other side here, we have unsecured debt. In this case, if you have a house that has value to it and the mortgage is being lent out to you, typically the mortgage has a lower balance than the value of the house. There are some situations where the mortgage value doesn't come down fast enough, and then the housing market crashes, and then you have people that are underwater on their mortgages. But most of the time, the lending practices of today do not really allow people to borrow more money than their house is worth. Okay, so when we look at good debt versus bad debt, I would very strongly say debt is not your enemy. It is not your enemy. If you've listened to Dave Ramsey a lot, you will know that he says that you need to be debt-free. You need to run away from debt like it's the plague. Just do the best you can to never get in debt for any reason whatsoever. And while I agree that bad debt that puts you in a negative impact on your net worth is a good thing to avoid, I do not agree with the idea of just eliminating all debt altogether. Please think about, what's the total impact to my life? If I can spend money on a rental property that brings me income each month, but it requires me to put 25% of my money down to have access to the whole 100% of the value of the house, I'm using other people's money to have a higher impact on my finances. The investment is going to pay off every single month. And even though I have a loan against the property, I do not have to put all that money up front to actually control the property. So in cash flow investing, you're looking to see, is the money that I'm investing going to return to me every single month, or often enough where it can help pay down the balance of the loan? And that's what helps you decide if it's a good investment. Not just, is the value going to go up, right? Not just, am I going to be able to be free and clear and have no debts? No, you're looking at, how do you leverage? So here's a good word, leverage. In physics, you take a small amount of force and you get a large result if you do it the right way, you use a lever. Same thing with money. If you put a small amount of money to work in the right kind of way, you can actually access way more money than you would even imagine sometimes. Banks are looking to make money off of people investing their money. They know that housing markets are typically fairly solid. People always need a place to live, so they are fine with investors borrowing money. In fact, if you borrow money, the government even agrees with you. They say, hey, you don't have to pay, we'll give you a tax deduction on the mortgage interest. We'll actually give you opportunities to sell your property and go up to a bigger property and not have to pay capital gains if you do it just the right way. So all that being said, when I look at investing, I'm looking at, am I able to put my money to work to have a bigger impact than just the cash that I have in my account? I want to use my money as leverage to access bigger amounts of capital. That way I can make an impact on my finances in a much bigger way. So we're going to wrap up for today. I know it's a lot shorter than I thought, but I would really like to do this every Monday, 1:15 to 1:45 or so. Today I did a whole presentation that didn't get recorded, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm going to be uploading videos every week. So if you subscribe to the channel and you put a thumbs up on here, it's going to help us to get more people listening. I'd be happy to answer questions at the ends of these live streams if you have any. Still working out the details on how to make that work the best as possible. But if you have thoughts or comments on this idea that not all debt is bad, leave some comments for me in the descriptions below. I'd be happy to kind of hear what you have to say. And then lastly, I put a link in the description below of a free offer for you. For exchange for your email, to hop on my email list and get more free content and updates about when I'm posting things, I'm giving you an ebook that I just released called Master the 5 Currencies. One of the 5 currencies of the ultra rich is leverage. They know how to use leverage really well to get their wealth into a better position. There are 4 other currencies like that I want to describe to you in this ebook. So if you hop onto the link in the description below, it'll take you to a page where you can give me your email and your name, and I'll be happy to send to you the 5 currencies, the Master the 5 Currencies book, and just give you some free information there and hopefully some life transforming information about how you can improve your own finances. So that being said, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.